What's good, everyone? You are listening to WKNC 88.1 FM HD1 Raleigh. We are a student-run nonprofit radio station based out of North Carolina State University. I'm Valkerie, and this is Off the Record. Here with me today is Alec Lomami of No Visa. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Awesome. So, was there anything you came to talk about specifically?
We are throwing a party here in Raleigh at King's No Visa party this Saturday. We bring in Jim Supernova from the UK. Also have Maida Volk from Silvernesso, and and myself.
Awesome. So, real quick, if you could just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, kind of how you, describe No Visa and also kind of how you got into that.
Yeah, so pretty much No Visa, it's a genre agnostic dance party that we started about 3 years or so ago. Yeah, so pretty much at the time we felt like a lot of parties were kind of genre specific. Like either you have a hip hop party or a techno party or a house party. And then since we pretty much enjoy all those styles of music, so we were like, okay, why not just have a party where we have all of it together? So that's kind of how we started. I mean, we started based out of Chapel Hill, but after the pandemic, shut down. So then we started playing in Durham, and now we decided to try Raleigh and kind of see how it goes.
Yeah, Nightlight was hard on everyone. That was a really important venue. Yeah. So you all played a lot, y'all would play Nightlight pretty frequently pre-pandemic?
Yeah. So pretty much that's up until the pandemic. Mm-hmm. That's the only place we played.
Gotcha.
At least here.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know y'all perform in not just the Triangle area, but a number of different even countries. Well, what's that been like literally going international with it?
Yeah. So I mean, as the name says, I mean, there's an aspect of, with No Visa, the idea is to be able to travel musically within the party, but also a literal sense of it, where we want to be able to play in different cities, and we've done it. We've had it in New Orleans, we had it in New York. We just came back from Abidjan, Ivory Coast, and we did. We also did South Africa, Johannesburg, South Africa, late last year. So that's kind of, we just try to keep it moving. You know what I mean?
Nice. Yeah. Were there any challenges like bringing a party like that overseas?
I mean, not so much, because so pretty much we come from, before we started No Visa, we have a label / management company named Immaculate Taste, mm-hmm. and we worked with and we've been running it for maybe 10 years or so. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we kind of along the year, we work with artists in different countries, mm-hmm. and different spaces. So we have built relationships. So we were able to kind of have relationships some of those spaces. So that's kind of why it hasn't been too challenging to make it happen.
For sure.
But it's not easy.
No. It's got to be something behind that. And yeah, Raleigh, of course, big step. What was it like getting that going with Kings?
I think we were supposed to do something with Kings once again before the pandemic. That was something different. I think it was a concert for one of the artists that we work with. So I think, I've DJed Kings before. I think once before, so I really liked it. I also went to a couple of shows there. I think I actually were show from the station. I think they used to do some fundraiser.
Yeah, it's Double Barrel is at Kings.
Yeah. So I went to that a couple of times, and so I really liked the venue. So so once we wanted to do something in Raleigh, I was like, yo, why not?
No, for sure.
Kings.
Yeah, that's gonna be great.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been in Durham pretty actively, pretty consistently. I've noticed. So Fruit and the Pinhook. How's the Durham scene doing?
The Durham scene is cool. There's a whole bunch. There's even more parties going on, which I'm excited about. You have new blood. Just new parties, new ideas. So I've so the Durham scene is cool. We don't have don't have a lot of venues, so that's kind of what's what's a little bit limiting. But outside of that, I think we have a lot of a lot of talented artists, a lot of talented DJs. So I'm pretty much excited about what's happening there.
For sure. I know that the Fruit has been having some issues. Like they've had to. I know Below Decks probably isn't going to keep going on too much longer. Has that kind of like crowd stuff been an issue for y'all?
Um, yeah, I mean, yes, and yes and no. Because I think one thing that's helpful to us, we don't do a monthly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, because that's the one thing that I've noticed in Durham, is that like when something happened too repetitive, too constantly, like you know what I mean, it seems like it slows down, which is seems to be the opposite in most places. Most places the goal is to have monthly or weekly, but here kind of like it's almost like less is more. So that's kind of like the approach that we have. So it hasn't really affected us so much.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, every no visa I've gone to has been popping, as always. So you mentioned it's this week. So what are the exact specifics, like time, location, and also could you tell us something about the lineup or like who all is performing?
Yeah, so it's this Saturday, October 17th.
14th, I think.
14th.
Got it.
We're releasing a record on the 17th, so I'm like,
there's so many dates.
There's so many things happening. I'm like, jump over. Yeah, for the 14th. Actually, it's on my birthday. Crazy enough.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, so we have Gem Supernova, who's a DJ / radio host from the UK. So this is her first US tour. Yeah, so she's the headliner, and we have Made of Oak from Sylvan Esso. He's playing too. The party's also I'm partner. It's a partnership with like some friends. I think the party's named Discovery, so they're gonna play as well, and then I'm gonna close out tonight.
Nice. So they have like a set that they're doing as well.
Yeah, they have a set as well. So
nice.
they're gonna open, then Made of Oak, then James Supernova, and then I'm gonna close out.
Amazing. What time does it start, by the way?
It starts at 10 and it ends at 2.
Yeah, whenever. Let's see. I mean, really great bookings. I'm a massive Sylvan Esso fan. I know before you've booked DJ Lag and Bianca Superstar and those really cool artists. What's it been like working with them?
I mean, it's been cool. It's been
Bianca Oblivion. I'm so sorry.
yeah. So all the artists that we've had, like they've been really easy to work with, and you know, what I mean, like so it's been a plus because like I know it can be difficult sometimes, but like you know, what I mean, we've been lucky so far. Yeah.
Nice, and I know this is of course a genre agnostic party, but I've noticed there's a lot of Goom played at the party. Could you kind of describe that as a genre and why there's been a lot of kind of maybe not a focus, but there's been a lot of that kind of energy in the party?
Yeah, so Goom is like it's a genre from South Africa, you know, from Durham to be specific. You know, it's just like some sort of dark electronic music, like you know, what I mean, it has influence from like Afro house as well. But yeah, I mean, I think I lived in SA for 4 years, so and that's kind of like in the heydays of when the genre kind of was birthed. So I think it's just it's just kind of part of just a genre that I really enjoy a lot. So yeah, so I tend to play it a lot. I tend to also book people who play that.
Awesome. I mean, I've loved all the Goom sets that y'all have. How do you pronounce it exactly?
I think it's Goom.
Goom,
with
okay.
the click, but like I'm not gonna attempt
not too declarative. It's spelled GQOM for any listeners at home who want to look that up. Amazing genre that's kind of the future of electronic in a lot of ways. Let's see. Well, you're coming to Raleigh. Have you spent much time with the kind of the Raleigh dance scene as well? Because I know I have my thoughts about it that I won't share on this, but there's a level of commercialization that I think is kind of unescapable in the kind of Raleigh dance scene.
So the only people the only people that I'm around from the Raleigh dance scene is like people who play like Half House or Amapiano or that sort of thing. So they tend to complain about the Raleigh scene, but like I haven't personally experienced it myself. Literally, my Raleigh scene experience may not be realistic because,
Sure.
as I say, my Raleigh scene experience is like the show that like you guys play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Put together. So that was like my first introduction to it. You know what I mean? So to me, I was like, oh, it's cool. So when I talk to people, when they describe it like that, it doesn't really reflect my own personal experience. So like I'm not really, not really sure.
I'm really glad you've had a good time in the city. But yeah, no, I've noticed there are some areas that can be pretty hetero, pretty commercialized. But yeah, obviously No Visa is none of those things. That DIY underground roots are always really cool. I've been meaning to ask this. I've loved that. How do you like get the like backing visuals for you have the like the video you play on loop and No Visa parties? Those are so cool.
So we have we had like a team of like we have like a few creative on the team. So like you know what I mean, like we so we kind of some of it we just like did we just kind of like just did it, built it ourselves, and then some other stuff just like stuff that we sourced on the internet.
Yeah.
So we just kind of mix the two together. It's funny you mentioned that video because like I'm itching to change it because like we have it for a long time now.
Sure.
Like, I'm tired of seeing it, but like some people haven't seen it, so it's cool for them.
It is very iconic. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, these videos.
No, I'm sure if you've seen it like 10 times, it's this guy. But listeners at home, there's an amazing little role. There's like a guy conducting planes, just kind of dance. It's a very like it gets you in the mood of No Visa for sure. It's very cool. You also always have the TV on the side. That's that's a nice touch too. Are there any like specific like aesthetic inspirations for the party? Is it just like people you've worked with, things you've picked up?
Yes, I mean it's just a reflection of our taste, you know what I mean? So pretty much it's not just me. Like I'm pretty much, I do most of the curation and the lineup or whatever, but my brother also does a lot of the visual and the merch and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like a mixture of the stuff that we like. You know what I'm saying? We like a lot of, old vintage VHS type of aesthetic.
Awesome. Let's see. Just outside of No Visa, what are some of your favorite performances and kind of acts around these parts? And also maybe what's the kind of stuff you listen to in kind of your spare time?
Funny enough, so okay, first, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I like from around here. Like, I mean, I think I like Party Legal a lot. Actually, there are some of the guys who are even inspired me to even do No Visa. You know what I mean? So I think they do good work. I think oh man, I'm blanking on the name. I have a friend, Isabel.
Yes.
Isabel Essence. She does a lot of throw a lot of shows, and then like a lot of her show cater to like really, finding new people. Then what I'm saying, give them a chance to play, and whatever, which is like something that we also like to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, I even told her, I was like, yo, you got me. I mean, you made me lazy because now I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna let her, discover, and I'm just gonna like, oh yeah, this was cool. Let me find someone. Yeah, so she does some really cool stuff. I have a friend, Mickey Slicks. He's actually from Raleigh. He play a lot of Clockwork.
Nice.
He's also pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'm forgetting. Forgetting a bunch of people.
If you haven't been shouted out, you're still cool. Don't worry.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I met you at a local produce. I think you were working door. Yeah, have you like local produce? Is that like one of the key things?
I like scoping
for sure. Yeah. No, yeah, I'd love to see, especially like bookings like the AAA booking recently. It's good to like work with the kind of newer, like not just up and coming like college talent as well. It's always really cool. Do you listen to a lot of XYC?
Not as much.
Yeah, no, they're really cool. Let's see. What's obviously we have this party. Then you had New Orleans and the 29th. Was that it?
No, New Orleans. That happened.
Yeah, sorry, I meant like September 29th. Yeah.
That was September 29th.
So after these, obviously, you got a lot of planning going on. What do you think is kind of the future of No Visa?
So pretty much, I've always, I kind of want to we kind of want to stop profiling things. You know what I mean? So it's not just the party. We want to be able to like profile like local artists and do that sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, we also getting to start putting out music ourselves. You know, working on compilation, things of that nature. So yes, that's kind of like in the next year or two. That's kind of one of the focus. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, you mentioned you're dropping a record on the 17th. What's that?
So yes, so it's it's a yes, it's a song that we put as a no music compilation. But it's a collaboration with a producer from Congo named DJ Spilulu. He's actually one of the he's one of the founder of the Congolese Afro House music. You know what I mean, and that's also something that I play a lot on my set. So like so we're releasing the records together on the 17th.
That's so cool. Is that through Immaculate Taste or is that?
Yes, it's through Immaculate Taste.
Nice. What else is? Sorry, you're wearing the Immaculate Taste hoodie right now, so I'm getting a lot of Immaculate vibes over here. What else does Immaculate Taste do exactly? So
again, like I said, we started off as a record label, but like kind of migrated more towards a management company. So we still do management. Mostly, we don't have a lot of artists on the label side of thing, and then we also slowly moving to like a creative agency,
nice,
of some sort. Because we've done most of our images, most of our flyer, most of our cover arts.
That's all like in house.
Yeah, it's all in house.
Awesome. No, that's really cool that you have that like synergy of the two different the groups there. I was gonna ask. A lot of this is just like things I've noticed in No Visa. I remember at the DJ Lag show, you had like what setup were you playing on? Because it looked kind of different than like the other artists' setup.
So it was a really really tiny controller, and the idea really was I used to play on that really a lot because I felt like there was this stigma of like a real DJ need to play on CDJs, to kind of be respected. And I always was like, again, you know what I'm saying, even when I go to Africa, you know what I'm saying, where like access to CDJs is like, it's almost impossible to find, but you still have that standard. So I was kind of like, I was like, first of all, I don't even know personally, I'm sure they are, but like here in these like in the triangle, I don't even know any person of color who even own a CDJ. So to have such standard to me was like, like I don't, we don't even have access to the gears. Obviously I got lucky enough to, to be able to be, to have like people like Patrick from Tree City, what I mean, and Laura Quinn Please, who let me learn on their gears, what I mean. But there was always an aspect that I really just didn't like. So I was like, okay, I'm going to show, and this is why I picked the tiniest controller I could find. I was like, okay, I'm going to show up with a very tiny controller, and I'm gonna have an amazing set.
And you did.
And you know what I mean. And thank you. So the idea was to be like, it's not really about the gear. It's about like, what I mean. Like, it's about what you can actually do with the actually playing the music. So that's kind of what it was. But then my computer, what I mean, got messed up. And then
you had to see it?
Nah, I've been playing CDJ.
Hey, if it works, yeah.
Going back, I feel like a sellout.
No. Hey, your computer broke. That's how it goes. No, it's a really cool sentiment. And like, again, I don't really get this like emphasis on like it's 2 tracks. Like you can do that on anything. At the end of the day. That's a really cool story.
The funny thing to me is like the fact that like now you have CDJ apologists, but like when CDJ first came out, people who play vinyl was like, this is not real DJ. You know what I mean? It's just like
it's newfangled technology.
It's just kind of funny. I mean? Then now the thing that people was like, oh, this is not real DJ. Now those people saying, oh, if you use that, that's not real DJ. It's interesting.
That's wild. Let's see. Is there anything else you wanted to kind of shout out specifically?
I mean, first, thank you for having me.
Of course, this is an honor to have you on this.
Yeah, and then, and then just like excited about the party on Saturday. Hopefully, like people come out. So we get a lot of students. I mean, our party really a big, again, we started like a nightlife. So we always draw a lot of college students. I always, I think they just bring good energy, and it's just like,
sure.
I don't know, just good energy to come to dance. It's not too cool, whatever. So I've always liked it. I mean, it's been harder because like most venue now, it's most venue now kind of wanted to be like 21 and above. That's been difficult, but I made sure for this show for it to be 18 and up.
Nice. So. We love to hear that.
Really cool.
Awesome. What are your socials? How can we find you in No Visa?
So No Visas at No Visa Party on Instagram, and mine is Alec_Lomami. That's pretty much it.
Awesome.
I think that's the only social that we actively use.
Yeah, that's all we need. Again, thank you so much for coming through. This has been wonderful to talk to you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you all for tuning in, and you can check out all the interviews I and everyone here does at WKNC.org/podcast and click Off the Record. I'm Valkerie, and I've been here with Alec Lomami on WKNC 88.1 FM HD1 Raleigh.